As if losing a loved one isn't already hard enough, if you haven't been able to find their will, you're probably ready to tear your hair out. I'm Jackie Bedard, founder of Carolina Family Estate Planning, and today I'm going to share some tips with you on how to locate your loved one's will. First, make sure you've turned the house upside down and looked everywhere. And I know that might sound obvious. You might even be rolling your eyes right now, but you'd be surprised some of the places that people have found their loved one's will. So if you've already looked in the obvious places, like where they kept their important legal documents or financial information, start broadening your search. We've seen people find the wills, tucked in the bookcase between some books, or in a binder in the closet. We even had someone find it in a bunch of moving boxes that were still in the garage. So make sure you've turned the house upside down. And then next, make sure that you've asked friends and family members. You may have already done this, but again, I don't want to overlook the obvious. Sometimes we find that a client might give the will to a friend or family member for safekeeping, particularly if they've named that person as the executor. So make sure that you've asked around. The next thing you can do is try contacting your loved one's bank to see if maybe they had a safe deposit box that they might have stored their will in. We've seen that happen before, where that's where all the important documents are for safekeeping, and the family didn't even know that the box existed. Now, if you do find that there's a safe deposit box, there is a legal process for how to get that box open and inventoried, so you may need to contact an estate's attorney to help you get that box opened. The next thing you can try is contact your loved one's attorney, even if they're not an estate's attorney. We've seen instances where maybe the real estate attorney drafted the will, or my own family ran into this. My great uncle passed away recently and we couldn't find the will. The family had turned the house upside down, had looked in all the typical spots, no luck. They even contacted the attorney that they thought had drafted it, and he also didn't have the will. And just as they were getting ready to give up, somebody noticed that on the refrigerator, there was a magnet for a different law firm. My aunt and uncle had had a floral shop before they retired, and their business attorney was the one that had the will on file. So make sure you contacted anyone that your loved one might have done business with. And then finally, if all of those options have failed, it might be time to reach out to an estate's attorney for help. We can look at a couple of options. First, if you have a copy of the will and you just haven't been able to find the original, then we might be able to probate the copy. It's just a bit more time consuming. But if you haven't had luck finding even a photocopy of the will, then it may be time to assume that your loved one didn't have a valid will in place, or that they revoked it at some point if they previously had one. So we can help you figure out what to do next. Listen, I know this can be overwhelming. You're not alone. Our team helps families with these types of situations all the time. So if you're not sure what to do next, give our office a call. We'll get you set up with a free copy of our guide to understanding estate administration, and we'll help you figure out your best next steps.